Again, words to bring us together from Richard Gilbert. How is it with you? How is it with you this Sabbath day? How goes it with your spirit? How strongly throbs the pulse of your soul? In this dedicated space and hour, it is time to ask, it is time to see what it is we are doing with our lives. If all is well and the day begins with promise, let us celebrate that joy with you. We are glad and invite you to share your faith with us. If it does not go well and the day begins with foreboding, we are here to hold your hand and hear your story. Let us share the difficulties of living with you. If your life moves back and forth between promise and peril, between joy and sorrow, between achievement and disappointment, we welcome you to the assembly of all souls who find life ever intriguing and never predictable. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, here we can take our pulse and assess our living, and we can vow to continue to enjoy life's promise, to cope with its peril, and celebrate the fate that is ours, to live as best we can. Welcome.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are by the Reverend Brian Keeley. In times of darkness, we stumble toward the tiny flame. In times of cold, we seek the warming fire. In times of repression, we reach for the lamp of truth. In times of loss, we pray for the comforting light. In times of joy, we light a candle of celebration. Spirit of life, as we kindle this light, help us find what we need this day.
And now I invite you to rise, whether it be in body or in spirit, as we sing our first hymn. The words should be up there, yes. When our heart is in a holy place.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place,
Thank you. You may be seated. And I have a story for all of us before our young people head to their activities today. I want to tell you about this beautiful and powerful tiger. And one time, as this tiger was walking through the jungle, a man captured her and put her in a cage. And he kept that cage near his house, but it was in the jungle. And every day he came outside and he brought the tiger some water and some food. And sometimes the tiger would see her reflection in the bowl of water. You know how when you look in water, you see yourself sometimes. And one day she said, "Oh, I must be a beautiful and powerful tiger." But the man was a very cruel man, and he came out and he lied to her and he said, "No, you are not a beautiful and powerful tiger. You are an ugly creature." And sadly, the tiger believed him. And then some days when she ate her food, she would walk back and forth inside of her small cage, and she would feel energy and power surging through her body. And she would say to herself, or in this case out loud, "I must be a powerful tiger." But one day, that mean, cruel man heard her, and he said to her, lying once again, "No, you are weak and puny. You are a pitiful creature." And sadly, the tiger would believe the man. Then one day, when the man was nowhere around, a lion came walking by, and he saw the tiger lying inside the cage, and he spoke to her, and he said, "Beautiful and powerful tiger, what are you doing lying around in that cage?" The tiger said, "Do not make fun of me. I know that I am neither beautiful nor powerful." "I'm not making fun of you," said the lion. "You are surely the most beautiful and powerful tiger I have ever seen. I'm only surprised to see you lying around in that cage when you are clearly strong enough to break out." "You really think I could break out of here?" asked the tiger. "Quite easily, I should think," replied the lion. The tiger was not so sure at first. She had been told so many times that she was a weak and pitiful creature. But suddenly it seemed that she could feel energy and strength moving through her body. She began to pace back and forth in her cage, and almost without thought, she leapt against that cage door and it flew open without any resistance. Once outside, she was dazed. I spent so much of my life stuck in there, and the door wasn't even locked. The lion looked at her with soft brown eyes and said, "Those kind of traps don't need locks, for it's the lies we believe that keep us in our cages, and it's the truth that sets us free." So now I invite our young people to gather themselves and head for their activities in religious education today as we sing them out and with their leaders. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere. Thank you. And I invite you to say the covenant if you'd like to rise. It's printed in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. As part of our service each week, we read aloud the names of those who have recently died while on duty with one of our armed forces. And so I'll ask Paula to light a candle today for U.S. Army Specialist Antonio Moore, 22 years old, from North Carolina. So we hold Antonio and his family and loved ones in our hearts today, and all our brave people who serve our country in faraway places and nearby.
Okay, the words for reflection this morning are from Barbara Kingsolver, and after I finish reading them, there will be a moment of silence. Root your resilience in beauty. In my own worst seasons, I've come back from the colorless world of despair by forcing myself to look hard for a long time at a single glorious thing, a flame of red geranium outside my bedroom window, and then another, my daughter in a yellow dress, and another, the perfect outline of a full dark sphere behind the crescent moon, until I learned to be in love with my life again. Like a stroke victim retraining new parts of the brain to grasp lost skills, I have taught myself joy over and over again.
Oh, goodness, a good reminder that there's more peace, more love, more joy somewhere after what we've experienced in the news the last few weeks. As I contemplate covenant and resiliency, it's hard not to think about how we need that these days. And resilience is such a great theme for this congregation right now also, because resilient is exactly what you've been as you have been navigating so many changes over the last couple of years. And it is truly a joy for me to be part of digging in and finding what things sustain you, help you be resilient, things that give you strength and courage in uncertainty. The changes have not only been in the congregation. This need for resiliency has been in a lot of personal lives since I've been here also. There have been changes in the health and situations of people you care about and love. There have been significant losses. All of these affect the circles of relationships that exist within this congregation. As we have explored the framework that fortifies an institution and its people, we frequently come back to covenant. And for the best review of how that is integral to who we are as a religious movement and who we've always been, I suggest you go back and find Erin's message on the archived Sunday services, because she gives the fullest and best vision of what it means to be a people of covenant that I've heard in a long time. She goes into our historical context and all about how it is that we are a religion of covenant, not creed. So I'm not doing all of that today, but I'm elaborating a little bit more about covenant because it has a lot to do with resilience, which is our theme. And also because in a couple of weeks, we will have a new member ceremony and invite more people to join with us in our covenant. When people join a congregation, they don't actually join the congregation as it is now. They actually reconstitute it. Each person arrives with a different sort of experience, set of experiences, set of expectations and ways of doing things, just like when I arrived here. And with each new person, something different is added to the mix. The result can be surprising, different, hopefully vital, and each time we take time to recovenant. So covenants define our relationships. And there are a number of ways that happens, and there are a number of covenants. I have covenants with colleagues about how we will support each other in our individual ministries, and in our ministries to congregations. Groups within congregations have covenants to describe how they will be with one another in the bonds of the tasks that they are assembled to carry out, like boards and ministry teams and religious education classes and small groups. They all have covenants defining how they will be with one another in their particular context. Sharing these thoughts with you evolved out of a conversation with Lauren as we were talking about how the church has a covenant, and then we realized that when we welcome new members, they make words of commitment, which are basically a covenant. And so those words that our new members say and that we say in that ceremony put flesh on the covenant that we say every day. Covenant is at the heart of how we do things. We covenant to be together in ways that reflect our most deeply held values as Unitarian Universalists. Again, a religion of covenant, not creed. So the covenant that we say, as we just did, love is the spirit of this church and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. The words that we say in our new members' ceremony describe more fully how it is that we dwell together in peace, seek the truth in love, and help one another. Again, I refer you to Aaron's explanation. But we warmly welcome members, and we honor the strengths, the limits, their unique desires. We offer to help. We ask for a place of love and encouragement as we find our way among one another, and the new members ask that when they join us. And the words they say, or that we all say, are, we commit ourselves to an ever-increasing understanding of right relations among us. That takes a lot of time and energy and work to constantly be reaffirming and reevaluating what it is to be in right relationship with one another. We value honesty, direct speaking. Direct speaking. That doesn't mean that you are direct in your speech, but it means, well, it can, but it also means that you speak for yourself. You speak directly to the person with whom you need to speak, rather than bring information from somebody else to share. You know, when you're in a meeting and you hear, oh, a lot of people are saying, or some people are saying, that is not direct speaking. I had a lot of respect for a man one time at a church board meeting who said, we must empower people to speak for themselves. So direct speaking is not easy. It's not easy sometimes to use our own voice, to feel our own power. And we use courtesy in conflict. Again, that's not so easy. And we hold one another accountable to our very best intentions, and we do that lovingly. We ask, may we be true to ourselves, true to each other, and true to the vision of the beloved community we are ever becoming. Ever becoming. The vision of beloved community is what calls to us. Last week I talked about exploring our inner landscape because it's important to know what higher values influence our behavior. And I talked about the practice of listening in small groups that helps us discover more about who we really are. The invitation wasn't just to self-discovery, though. It was also an invitation to connection, because we are who we are, and we discover who we are in relationship with others. The self-discovery and connection help us be resilient. So here are some words from Gigi Leach of Bainbridge Island. They come from her winning essay in the Connections for Community Resilience contest. What a resilient community looks like. A resilient community is shaped by collective thought, a mutually a mutuality of purpose, fired by originality of ideas that find appreciation, not judgment. The unity in community is not uniformity, it's vibrancy. It's strengthened by the skipping, hopping, leaping, dancing, walking, even stumbling in one direction of many feet of all sizes. Resilience is a quality of thought that is humble and flexible enough to receive a push without being deflated or resentful. Expectant and joyous enough to receive new ideas with, "Oh, wow," instead of, "Oh, no." Resourceful and grateful enough to appreciate the good at hand and not forever long for the greener grass that lies elsewhere. And while resilience evokes the recuperative quality of springing back into shape, living solely as a recovering community suggests stasis, staying the same and not progress. A community has to have forward thrust also, the elasticity to reform, stretch, adjust, and delight in each new vision of purpose, which springs it forward, not just back. The heart of a community beats strongly, resiliently, when it constitutes love and there's trust for one another, even when they disagree. A resilient community looks with love. The quality of our communities has power in helping us become resilient as individuals and as communities. Children grow up to be more resilient when they have found acceptance and nurture in community. It's one of the reasons it matters so much to me, what happens with our children here. In one article about fostering resiliency in kids, the author writes, "Communities play a huge role in fostering resilience, especially in providing opportunities for children and youth to participate in the life of the community as valued members." And when I see that happen here, it makes me feel proud and good of what we're doing. And there's solid research that explains why, says one expert. Attending a church has been shown to increase a child's social network, provide a feeling of cohesion and belonging, and even promote a sense of personal control and sense of social justice when threatened. So we help them develop values and strength and courage for the playground or wherever. As my colleague, Reverend Jaco ten Hove, puts it, thus are internal and external resources marshaled in service of personal resilience at church. And here are 6 other behavioral elements I found that promote resilience in children, none of which should surprise you, but try also to envision how important these are for adults. The ability to cope with stress effectively and in a healthy manner, the willingness to seek help as needed, being able to talk to loved ones about struggles, identifying as a survivor as opposed to a victim, helping others, and finding positive meaning in hard circumstances. All of this is to lift up the importance of what happens here and to make the case for why building a particular type of community matters. A community of people with shared values who support one another in facing the tough and tender moments of life. One way I believe that community and resilience is fostered, I've been talking about, is small groups. Really, any of the small groups, the ministry teams, any of those kind of groups that you're involved in. It's a way that we can tell one another that what we think and feel matters. And so small groups are a place where we can do that, and we can practice the discipline of listening actively to one another and creating space to share from our minds and our hearts. So the first one of those groups is going to meet today, and lo and behold, it's full. So if you didn't sign up, you need to wait. And we'll have another group in 2 weeks when I come back on February 16th. In my office is the sign-up pad, so I have to get that after church. But there are ways to sign up. You can sign up with me today. You can email me. You can email Tara in the office, and she'll get the word to me. But if you want to join one of these small groups, sometimes called covenant groups, I invite you to do that. And just let me know. And if there are too many people for the next group, we'll figure out how to have more groups. I had no idea who all would want to do it, so I just had to throw it out there and see what happens. I want to close with words from the eminent historical scholar Howard Zinn. When you have models of how people can come together, even for a brief period, it suggests that it could happen for a longer period. When you think of it, that's the way things operate in the scientific world, so why not socially? As soon as the Wright brothers could keep a plane aloft for 27 seconds, everyone knew that from that point on, a plane might be kept aloft for hours. It's the same socially and culturally. We've had countless incidents in history where people have joined together in social movements and created a spirit of camaraderie or a spirit of sharing and togetherness, which has absented them, even momentarily, from the world of greed and domination. If true community can stay aloft for 27 seconds, it is only a matter of time before such a community can last for hours. Only a matter of time before a beloved community, as Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of, can come into being. May it be so, and may we be part of making it be so. Thank you. Our closing hymn is number 1020, Woyaya. I believe the words are going to be up here, but just in case it doesn't match up, follow Denise, because she's going to lead us in singing.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within when we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will, and it's hard to do, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will know it. We will. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. More words from my colleague to close. The heart of a community beats resiliently when it constitutes love and trust in each other, even when we disagree. Together, we breathe in resilience and breathe out health. Let our paths collaborate and be resourceful, giving us spiritual strength to carry on, replenished and ready to re-engage in community. Go in peace, my friends. Be peace and be resilient in love.